Hello and welcome to Beyond Measure. Today we're going to use our distressed inks to create a faux weathered wood look, like the manger scene for the Christ child. First we're going to use some pumice stone, some weathered wood, and frayed burlap. And please forgive me, I did not list those in the credits of the supplies at the end of the video. I just totally spaced it. But first off, you just want to make sure that you go in a relatively straight line. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And just remember that this will dry a bit different than what it appears when it's wet. But once you do that with all of your colors, you're going to make some random lines. It doesn't have to be any certain measurement, but I did mine at 1 1/8 inch. I'm using a Bic Market marker, and now I'm just doing little random board lines, you know, as if it were a hardwood floor or a boat or anything like that, and just make it random. Now I'm putting in the nails, as you can see. Just I choose to put 4. Next, you need to cut this in half. Make sure that you make a duplicate. Next up, we'll begin our score lines. You'll first score at gatefold half US letter, and then your second score will be at half-fold half US letter. But in inches, if you don't have a Crafter's Companion, the first one is at 2 1/8. The second is at 4 1/4 inches. The following one is the gatefold US letter fold line, and then you fold against the edge, and then it's gatefold US letter, or 2 3/4, and then 2 3/4. I'm scoring from corner to corner. S-C-O-R-E, score, score. And I'm scoring from the other. X marks the spot, make an X across the previously scored lines. Score team. Can you tell I was a cheerleader? Anyhow, we are folding on our score lines to help to create half of the diamond for our diamond pop-up card. And be sure that you use your bone folder to get crisp folded lines. Be sure also to make duplicates of what we just created. Next, we have my favorite adhesive, Scotch Quick Dry. It's sure to not crumple your paper or crumple your nerves. So anyhow, we adhered that. Be sure again to do 2 of these. Make sure that those edges are nice and crisp. So I'm getting out my Crafter's Companion. Love, love, love. This is the Christmas board, and I'm making sure to place my metallic gold face down. I'm embossing the Bethlehem North Star. Love the star. But next we're inking this mat with old paper, and I'm adding my ATG adhesion to the back of the stars so that I can adhere it to the mat and for a really nice professional look. There's a great DVD on the story of the Bethlehem Star. It's way uber cool. So as you see, I'm using my ATG gun to adhere my mat with the beautiful embossed stars to the outside edge as my bejeweler is heating. Next, we'll get my Swarovski crystal and place it in the center of the star for some shine. Oh, don't touch the stone right after you place it on there. It'll burn your finger. Ouch! We just brought in both sides of our card, flipped it over, and we're going to play connect the dots almost. We're going to place this square on one side, and then I prefer to flip it over to connect the other because you can get a much cleaner edge. Next, adhere the front focal mat and mid focal. Now it's time for stamping with our Baby Jesus lamb stamp. It's so incredibly detailed and beautiful. I'm using black archival ink by Ranger, which is the bomb. And I love to ink with it because it is permanent and crisp, and what else could you ask for in an ink of that nature? So I just used my distress tool and I'm preparing to ink up my baby Jesus. He needs some color. He's a little bit pale. I'm using weathered wood, pumice stone, frayed burlap, mustard seed, wild honey, crushed olive, and walnut stain for our baby Jesus. You're saying, what is that foreign thing that she keeps squirting onto her mat on top of the ink? Well, it's just simply water. And this is a Martha Stewart little white paint pen. I felt like little Lambie there needed some whiteness on him because they're always just pure as snow and so lovely. And next I'm going to use some fabric puffy paint by Tulip. It will add some nice fluffy texture and make him like white as snow. So anyhow, let's go ahead and continue, and this will help to puff the paint. Next is Jesus's hair. There's something about painting his hair that kind of gives me the bejeebers because I don't want to mess up, but I know he'll help me to make it through. I'm going to apply some of my Prismacolor watercolor pencils. They color beautifully and it'll give it a nice vintage look because I didn't want too much color but then not enough color. Well, you'd have a pale Jesus. Oh, let the sun shine in. Well, it looks like it's time to apply our focal, our baby Jesus. You know, I had thought about putting it a little wonky, but I decided to do it just square on. Next, I'm applying some Rock Candy Distress Stickles. It is fabulous, 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 and Tim Holtz says that you're not supposed to spread it thin, that you're just supposed to kind of blob it, and it's my experience too. Have blobs get beautiful vintage sparkle. Next, we're going to ink our other little mats and adhere those to the side. But first, I need to add some embellishment with the stamp called Joyous Song. I love this set. The angels are singing hallelujah. Anyhow, one more thing. I forgot. I need to spray it with some glimmer mist. Love those glimmer mist too. It's so very, very beautiful. And let's go ahead and adhere this. As you noticed, I did dry it first. This is some of my craft core. Love the craft core coordinations. It's such great quality. I'm putting it in the wood grain tool and do-de-do-de-do, off to the talent rodeo again. Here we go. Let's open it up and see what we get. Beautiful. Love this texture fade. It is so deep and embosses such a great impression. This is our sentiment area. You can choose to put whatever you'd like, but I wanted to carry on the angel and then also put something about Christmas there at some point. But I'm inking the edges first. Now I'm going to crumple the paper for more distressed and vintage look. And as you see, the ink kind of collects on those little wrinkles and it just is really, really lovely. Love this gold ink. I honestly don't know who it's by. It might be Dewdrops. And as you see, I put the angel's legs over there. Now I matched it up so it appears as if she's flying through the card, so to speak. Joyful Song by Tim Holtz stamp set is so amazing. It has this beautiful crackle effect too. You can place a lighter color vintage ink and place it upon there and it just really gives an awesome, awesome effect. Really, really enjoy using inks with these stamps. Using Walnut Stain Distress ink for the sentiment, A Joyous Christmas. I adhered it with the ATG gun, then I misted it with some glimmer mist and drying it a bit with the heat gun. Next I am punching holes with my We Are Memory Keepers Big Bite, and then I will attach brad fasteners by Tim Holtz Ideology. Try and say that 5 times straight quickly. I'm adhering the map with the ATG gun, and it looks as if we are finished with our card. No, I'm going to distress these little brads for a really cool effect to complete it. Now this is our complete card. A Star is Born. Thank you and be blessed beyond measure.